Alright, here we go. First episode. We've got the camera ready, got the microphone ready. Let's do this. There are so many people out there that... No, the fuck was that? How to address people. We've got enough lighting? G'day, I'm... What? Yeah, I think lighting's alright. Yeah. Fuck off! How to address audience. Gee, there's some really silly things online these days. It shouldn't be this fucking hard. There are some really ridiculous things that get put online, and quite frankly, I'm sick of... God damn it! I'm trying to record my video. How many times do I have to do this fucking intro? It's taking me 4 fucking days, five days nearly to just get a fucking intro done. Fucking Jesus! Alright. Enough of the stupid intro crap. I've been doing this since November of 2017, and now here we are in the second week of 2018. Happy fucking New Year! Yeah, I'm not really going to say anything fancy, so let's get to it, shall we? Hello everyone, once again, and welcome to the first episode of The Hill Verdict. I'm your host, Savage Sean Ravage. And here at The Hill Verdict, this show is all about following 3 basic principles. Principle 1, we analyse the social media and real life situations around us. Principle number 2, we then dissect the said topic and the responses being put forward by those involved. And if you add those two together, 1 plus 2 is 3, unless you're a complete fucking numpty, we get to shove it back up the social arsehole to the shit factory where it first came from. Now, isn't that just lovely? Now, I couldn't think of a better page to do this for than the group of pages that are stemming all over Facebook known as Perth Have a Whinge. Now, the purpose of Perth Have a Whinge, simply put, was for people in Perth or Western Australia to have an outlet for them to complain, but, you know, all these posts that are getting put up lately just becoming ridiculous and pointless and a real waste of everybody's fucking time. Not everything's bad on these pages. Sometimes, every now and again, they tend to put up something worthwhile reading and worth using your time and effort to actually look up. I mean, for example, there was this one picture that was put up by a girl named Ellie that says, well, scratch it then, because the lady's name on this picture happens to be My Cunt is Itchy, as if to, you know, insinuate that she has an itchy vagina. But some of these people have been putting stuff on these pages that they'll say something and somebody else will get offended, and then when that person gets offended, then they decide to create another page, and then there's another page, and then there's another page, and there's another. And if you see with the evidence I provide here, you can, at the top of the screen, there's Perth Have a Whinge. Then beneath that, there's Perth Have a Whinge 18 plus unrestricted, because people in the first one were getting offended so badly they had to create their own other page just so they could say what they want without people in the first one getting all butthurt. But then you see 2 lines down, there's Perth Have a Whinge unrestricted 18 plus antics. So that's, again, for more people to go even further, because people in the 18 plus unrestricted felt like that maybe they were holding back even more because maybe there's a certain line they don't cross. I don't know. Maybe people are just getting too fucking soft. But then what bothers me is that they've again segregated it into separate suburbs. So you've got Amberton Have a Whinge and Yanchep Have a Whinge. It's like, we've already got the whole of Perth having a fucking whinge. Why the fuck does everybody else have to have a whinge for, individually? Just go on those pages and have a whinge and have your complaint there. I mean, even though the whole point of this video is to note out how fucking ridiculous and pointless some of these posts are, there's no need to put it into separate suburbs. It's just fucking pathetic. But to make it worse, they've decided to use the power of the acronym, and they decided to abbreviate the initials down to PHAW, and when you change to PHAW in your search engine, you'll find that they've got PHAW singles and socials, so all the people who want to meet and greet and find love and, you know, don't want to do it without doing the seedy Tinder way. Then you've got the PHAW 40 plus singles and socials, so, you know, obviously the 40-year-olds have got a problem with young people trying to find love and, you know, hookups and so forth on Facebook, so they decided that they could do it themselves, hoping that they would only stick to their own age group, and, you know, good on them for that. But then you've got PHAW Health and Fitness for all the gym junkies and all the fucking protein shake fucking binge drinkers. You got Perth Have a Whinge Cute and Floofy, which is for all your pet lovers. I mean, no, everyone's allowed to have a pet. There's no issue there. I mean, it's just more, I don't see why you would call it Perth Have a Whinge when really you're just going on there to share your pets and, photos of your little fluffy animals that you like. You've got Perth Have a Whinge Gamers, which really, is more of a page of a measuring stick for your fucking penis. Really, it's just people to talk about which game they think is better. Everyone's allowed to have an opinion. There's bound to be some conversation in there for, PS4's better than Xbox One, and Xbox One's better than PS4, and fuck you all, I have a PC, and my dick can fucking knock you two the fuck out when I drop my pants, and fucking whatever. But then the worst part about it is, down the bottom, the most contradictory page of all of them is PHAW Ashes Series. So they've essentially created a page for people in Perth to have a whinge about the English, which then makes them whingers. Yeah, well, that's where we're at anyway. So with that being said, I've already read out one of the positive posts from the page, but some of the answers that I found on these pages, posts, statements, questions, they're all just fucking ridiculous, and some of them are even contradictory, and some people just put their answers up there without even fucking researching or finding out any of their facts first. So without further ado, here's my take on some of the dumbest posts I've found throughout all the pages in the Perth Have a Whinge network. And up first, we have a post that was put up in Perth Have a Whinge not too long ago by a guy named Sean. Now, normally, I would say that this Sean is a top bloke, but as you can see here, he spelt his name in the simpleton terms because people who are stupid like him obviously don't know how to spell Sean in other ways. But this Sean here was pissed off for doing the lottery, only getting 4 numbers on 2 lines twice, and the winnings only being $23. He's claiming that it should have been at least 2,000 because the chances of getting 4 numbers is 1 in millions. Well, Sean, you just proved your stupidity right there. I'm here to tell you, you are a fuckknuckle, and you leave me no choice but to hit this switch for the first time in the series. I've done my research, and I can tell you it is not indeed 1 in millions to get 4 numbers. If you actually have a look, here are the odds for a standard lotto on a Saturday, Monday, or a Wednesday night. And if you see 4th division, which is 4 numbers, it's actually 1 in 733. And if you look at the next odds, which is Oz Lotto every Tuesday night, then you've got 6th division being 4 numbers, it's 1 in 154. And then if I was to correct you yet again, you'll see here on a Powerball on a Thursday night, it's actually 4 numbers, 7th division is 1 in 480. Now, if you think you can determine the odds of a lotto draw, you've got about as much fucking career as a mathematician as this motherfucker.
You take your 33 and a third chance, minus my 25% chance, and you got an 8 and a third chance of winning. Then you take my 75% chance of winning, and then add 66 and 2/3%. I got 141 and 2/3 chance of winning. The numbers don't lie, and they spell disaster for you.
The next item on our agenda is a nostalgia post. And don't get me wrong, I like nostalgia things when people like to bring things from the past. It's always good to look back in the fond times that we've had with like old restaurants and foods we used to eat and music and games and so forth. So when I saw this question, it really brought to my attention. This question here put up by Brett, asking, when you think of 80s music, what's the first song that comes to mind? Well, Brett, to answer that question, the song that comes to mind for me is Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears. That sounds like a real 80s song, genuine electronic beats, but, it's still genuine singing and genuine instruments, None of this shit that you hear today. But what really caught my eye on this is the responses that I've seen from some of the other people. If you look at all the list of this here, you've got ABBA Fernando and Do You Really Want to Hurt Me and I've Been Waiting for a Girl Like You, Uptown Girl, and wait, what's this at the bottom? Well, you got Youth Gone Wild, but what? Talia's put up What's Love? Ashanti? What the fuck is that? And then YMCA? Fuck. You're either going too far or too early. And then you have a look here, you got Can't Touch This by Dean? Who the fucking hell comes up with all these stupid ideas? Going back to my original point, no one does their research before they put anything up. See, I can tell you now, I've done a research on all 3 of those songs, and they all do not fall in the category of the 80s. What's Love by Ashanti featuring Fat Joe was released in 2001. Talia's second answer being YMCA. Wrong again, you've got 1978. Complete fucking dipshit. You go to the other answer by Dean being Can't Touch This by MC Hammer. 1990. It's not even. It's just the turn of the decade. So as far as I'm concerned, now this particular issue I'm about to bring up could be a little touchy, but you all just need to be not so fucking soft. This issue that I'm bringing up revolves around making fun of the other skin color. Now, before you shoot me down here, I'm just pointing out the facts. I've gathered up the evidence, and I can tell you now that I've seen evidence of it happening on both sides. It happened on Hey Hey It's Saturday a couple of years ago with the act Red Faces. As you can see by this picture, there was a group of people who are all professionals in medicinal practices, being a podiatrist, psychologist, anaesthetist, so forth. And they all painted their faces black except for the lead singer and called themselves the Jackson Jive. Obviously a parody on the Jackson 5. It doesn't stop there, because one of my friends actually put up on my newsfeed a picture that said, you get the picture. Obviously, him being a white guy, myself, I'm actually half Indian. I'm not actually of African-American or black descent, if you will. Thought it would be funny to put that up because he just thinks he can thrive off being a funny cunt and nothing else. But then it also goes way out of proportion when I look on Perth Have a Whinge and find that there's a story over in England, I believe, where a woman named Martina Big actually got a skin complexion change and changed herself from white to black. And everyone's acting like everything's okay. Like, oh, ha, 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 you know, we can do whatever we want and make fun of people of that color, which it isn't cool. I can understand that maybe it may not be politically correct, and maybe it's just a little unfair that they're getting treated like that, but you know what? The way that I was brought up is sometimes you just gotta fight fire with fire. And when I came across this post, everyone went up in arms about it. All the white people in the world went all up in arms saying how offensive this was. A couple of African Americans in the US on Halloween on 2017 painted their faces white and dressed in redneck clothes and called themselves white privilege for their costume. White person paints their face black and it's all okay, it's all fine, and as soon as a black person does it back, all of a sudden it's like,
we coming for you, nigga. Fuck!
Another thing that bothers me is when people put posts in the wrong spot. So you have a post that's one topic, yet you put it in a different topic. Certain pages are meant to be appropriate for certain topics. It's that fucking simple. Take this for example. See this post in the standard Perth Have a Whinge page. Woman named Elizabeth is whinging because she feeds her baby snake for the first time, but now she can't have cuddles for 2 days. This post here is in the wrong fucking location for a start. There's a page for pets called Perth Have a Whinge Cute and Floofy as outlined at the start of this video, and yet you still put it in the wrong fucking page. Like, you're just stupid. Clearly not the first snake that you've handled in your lifetime, is it, sweetheart? I mean, a lot of people tend to say to me that I've got the gift of the gab. I mean, well, judging by how you're handling the snake in that photo, looks like you've got the gift of the grab, if you know what I mean. Now we get to a post, this time on the Perth Have a Whinge 18 plus unrestricted page. This time someone's decided to try and take the moral high ground, trying to bring up an issue and mixing it up with something that's not really related to it in any kind of way, shape or form. The only way for me to sort of get across how stupid this sounds is I'm going to have to make myself look like somewhat more of an arse here and put on a bit of a voice just to read this post out. So the post was put up by a guy called Francis, right? Do vegetarians think abortion is okay, regardless of the stage of pregnancy and circumstance? See, right there, that's just someone trying to start a fight for no fucking reason whatsoever. Like, first off, why do you even have to ask that question? Second of all, people don't eat fucking babies, you dipshit. You got pretty torn to shreds by a woman named Katrina who decided to, tell you that you're a bit of a fuckhead. What the fuck has eating got to do with abortion? Most vegans don't eat meat because of the extreme cruelty to animal, taking innocent life. Abortion is also taking innocent life. Some may argue if abortion is done early, is not human. Fetus, egg, embryo, but to me, it's just an excuse they give to themselves to feel better. Can you see the connection of where this post is going? You're stuffed in the head. What's babies have to do with being vegan? You need a doctor. Are you vegan? Huh. Bravo, mate. Well fucking done. There's not much more that any of us on this planet could have ever done to make you look more like a fucking idiot than what you've written on that post. Probably the stupidest way you could ever think to make yourself look more stupid than anybody else. I think it's only fair that we acknowledge this with an award of some kind. So without further ado, here is the first nominee for the Shitpost of the Year award.
Shut the fuck up. You're a stupid cunt, suck my dick.
Well, after 2.5 months, we've made it to the end of this video. It's probably 15 minutes you're not going to get back, and I really couldn't give two fucks. If you like the content that you saw today, feel free to give us a like at facebook.com/thehillverdict. Also, feel free to give my YouTube channel a like and subscribe. If for some reason you're one of the few that didn't like the video at all, you're probably one of the shit cunts that gave me a reason to make this video in the first place, be it someone that just doesn't like my kind of humour, or one of the cunts that put a post up on Facebook that even gave me a reason to out you in the first place. So, with that, I say I bid you farewell, and if you didn't like my content, fuck you. Have a nice day.